the fashion show, if I'm not mistaken, was held in Paris. So they are actually a group of them actually attend the fashion show virtually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Welcome to Hospitality Asia channel on HAPA TV. I'm Jennifer Ong. Today we're here with Mr. Daniyal Ng, Executive Assistant Manager of the RuMa Hotel and Residences, a beautiful, beautiful boutique hotel. Would I say boutique? In a way, yeah. Very beautiful boutique hotel in KL. Let's hear more from Mr. Daniyal. Hi.
All right, thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, thank you.
My honor.
Yeah, so tell us about, this amazing RuMa hotel. I mean, with those who've been there will know how beautiful this place is, and the different guest experience that the RuMa wants to bring into the hospitality world. So for those who've stayed there would know what it is like, but tell us more about the brand.
Okay, so RuMa itself, I mean, as we know, in Bahasa, I mean, they call house. So in terms of the design of the hotel, so it carry a very strong local heritage.
Yes.
I mean, giving an example, like when the moment that you arrive at the hotel, so that you will be welcoming with the the 6 columns.
Yes.
That which is
out at the lot where the entrance, where the drop-off area is.
Correct, yeah. Correct. So so the 6 column was originally actually from the one of a kampung house, back then in Malacca. So they dismantled the columns to actually to place it as a decorations piece, right, in front of the hotels.
Right.
So of course, I mean, like as we can see, I mean, when you enter the hotel, so we wanted to create the curiosity. So which is not the typical hotels that you will see a big entrance, and then we wanted to create the curiosity, and which is we wanted to let people to discover, so before enter to the lobby.
Right.
So
it's not like those typical, big luxury hotel where you enter and you see a grand lobby or a grand check-in counter, for example, right? Because yours has got that path of going in, and you get dropped off at the front, and then you walk in and you see this beautiful area where the water feature is.
Yes.
And with the door there without knowing what's next.
Correct.
That sort of
correct.
Thing, yeah.
So that's where the transition zone, so we call it. So we call it bird cage.
The bird cage.
The
yes,
bird cage.
Correct.
So that before enter to the lobby, so so before that you are seeing the grand staircase and the elegant kebaya.
Yes.
Yeah, elegant kebaya ku, placed at the center in between the grand staircase.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
And then you've got, the check-in counter, the front desk situated at one side, and then the bar at the other side. Right?
Correct.
Which is unlike hotels where you have it right in the middle.
Correct.
And right in the front.
So as we can see also, I think the reception counter also, the receptionist is actually standing
a level down.
level down.
Yeah, like a drop down.
Yeah. So that we wanted to have actually the eye contact actually with the guests. So
as when the guests are seated.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's a beautiful touch, isn't it? Because usually then you have a kind of like a different level of eye contact.
Yeah. So every guest that we checking in, so we were actually to place them at their sofa, so then to assist them, I mean, for the check-in process. So instead of that we are allowed, we are getting them to queuing out in the reception counter.
Yeah.
So I think this is part of the personalized service that we wanted to deliver.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And does RuMa stand for anything? Does RuMa stand for anything? Is it an abbreviation for something?
RuMa, well, is inspired, I mean, like from house. I mean, RuMah without the H, right? I mean, in Bahasa.
Right.
Yeah. So, we actually, me and my team actually have came out, in order to actually to carry on continue to deliver the Malaysian hospitalities, so we need to have the core value behind.
Yes.
Right. So which means that we taking the the RuMa words into our core to relate into
To
our
the
core
core
value.
values, right.
Right. So like say for example for RuMa R, so it's respect. So U is a unity, and then M is mastering,
Eh,
and A is authentic.
Right, and that
Yeah.
was why I asked you the question earlier whether RuMa stands for anything, because I remember hearing it when RuMa was first opened. And to be honest, RUMA, I couldn't remember everything, but I remember unity.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
the U at because the first time when I heard about RuMa, it was really talking about uniting people, feeling it like you're part of the home, inviting friends, inviting people back into your home sort of feel.
Correct.
Very personalized Malaysian hospitality service. And
Correct.
yeah, and I really love that part.
Correct.
So has that core value and that concept remained till now? Has it been
Of
still?
course,
Yes.
we think that especially during COVID time. So
How is it? I mean, it's a question that I always dread to ask hoteliers, but I know how tough it was. I know how difficult it was. But how is it? Because the RuMa Hotel is such a personalized hotel, right? It's a boutique hospitality, Malaysian hospitality experience, and the guest profile was also international,
Yep.
combined with local, yeah.
Yep.
But being so personalized, and yet you cannot have people coming in to stay. How did the hotel cope? What did you all do?
Well, during the Malaysia international border close, so we actually heavily, focusing on the domestic market. All right. So by creating a lot of staycation packages. So basically to cater, the families, couples and friends. So at the same time also, I mean that we are focusing on the local-based corporate company as well. I mean for the business meeting,
Right.
or probably a gathering or
Right.
social dinners,
Right.
and stuff like that. So it's not only that also. We also discover, our place are very popular with the intimate small weddings,
Yes.
events. All right, which is cater for approximately from 80 to hundreds, guests. So people would just love it. So that's one of the segments that we believe and we continue to actually drive.
Very exclusive wedding, people who want privacy and of course, a smaller group, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Because you have a beautiful pool level there,
Yes.
and you have a private room you have a function room near the pool as well. Is that where the weddings are held?
Correct. So the event space, we call it pavilion. Yeah. So level 6, which is the pool area, located. So we call it lifestyle floor. So which means beside the event space we have the bar called Santai.
Yes.
And also we have the gym facilities. We have a spa there as well.
Correct.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And loved your spa. The spa is amazing.
Thank you.
It's really.
Thank you.
So, what has the customer behaviors changed? Has your guest, the guest that regularly comes, and I'm sure you have new group of guests or new kind of guests that comes in and stays at the RuMa. What has really changed before COVID and after COVID? Has anything changed at all?
Well, of course, there is a changes. One thing also we realize, those travelers, they are very particular on the sustainability. Right? So actually every penny that spends, right? So they want to know where does it go. All right. So that's the reason why we continue. And of course, this year, it's really the focus on the ESG initiative. All right. So what we can do better. To giving back.
Yeah.
To the community, to the earth, and stuff like that.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. And what else? What about in terms of restaurants, F&B? You've got one restaurant there.
Yes,
Yes, the Atas.
we call it Atas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's the main restaurant for the hotel.
There's a main
right?
dining restaurant.
And
Correct.
what has changed for the Atas?
What have changed for the Atas?
You have a new chef.
Yes, we have a new chef,
Yes.
Chef Mandy. We're glad that actually that she's with us, you know, and of course we continue carry on the Atas legacy. So ever since that we opened the hotels, you know, back to 4 years back.
4 years back, right?
Yeah.
So the cuisine stays the same. I mean, what would you say the Atas restaurant is specializing in? What cuisine?
It would be the Euro-Asia, you know,
Euro-Asian.
contemporary.
Okay. And that stayed,
dish. That
even
stayed.
with Chef Mandy now.
Yeah, that
Yes.
stayed. But of course, I mean, different chef, different cooking technique.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So that definitely changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think creativity is something that I see in Chef Mandy's creation. You know, in her menu,
Correct.
very creative. Presentation is lovely. It's a true experience, I must say. You know, dining at Atas is really an amazing experience, as well as of course staying at the RuMa. Again, you know, I think being Malaysian, it's nice to have at least, you know, one experience. Stay at the RuMa to see how, you know, the Malaysian hospitality experience comes in. Yeah.
Yep.
I think that part is where you all have gotten it right, and you know, still maintaining it really well.
Yes.
And I must say that, you know, talent is a challenge, but somehow you're still retaining the local talents very well, and that's still one of your key thing in RuMa.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We are until today.
Yeah.
Even though it's been a bit challenging.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that we believe to retain and to get the local manpowers. I think that's how, you know, to maintain the, you know, the authentic of the Malaysia hospitality.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So of course, I mean, to do that is not an easy job, you know. And I think the most important thing is, you know, that every employee, you know, coming in, I'm talking about the new hire, so they have to really understand, you know, and who we are, you know, what we are trying to achieve, you know. I mean, the clear directions, and of course, in any things that we do, right, it will relate to our core value, as what I mentioned just now.
Right.
So, of course, we continue to have more training and career development plan for them. So in order to retain them and stay a little bit longer with us. So to make sure that you know, that we achieve our business objective.
I like that part. You know, I like what you just mentioned there, Daniel, because you're not talking about, you know, just training staff. You're talking about career development.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that's so important for talents in hospitality, because they want to know what's my career progress. Where can I go? You know, if I'm working in the front office, what's next for me? If I'm working in housekeeping, what's next for me?
Yep.
Yeah, and I think the fact that the RuMa Hotel actually looks into career development for your talents, that's where loyalty comes in. You know, there's a purpose and there is a growth for them.
Yep.
That makes a difference, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yes, yeah. And I, like I said, you know, really like the fact that staying at the RuMa feels like you're away from home, but yet you're home. You know, that kind of thing, because it's so resorty. It's really like entering into a resort. Like you say, the bird cage, there you go, the image there. So the bird cage is one of my really favorite place as I entered into RuMa. That's a place where you go, wow, you know, that's so serene. You kind of feel you're entering a resort, you know.
Yep.
And then of course the entire experience. Let's talk about the rooms. How many rooms do you have? You know, how many of them are suites? And give us a little bit of the configuration of the rooms as well.
Total we have 253 rooms. So we are talking about, so we're coming with the various category. So the highest, which is the only available one actually in the hotel, we call it RuMa Suite. So all the suites rooms and the rest are the deluxe suites, and also that we do have some slightly larger than the entry level, which is we call it a corner studio room. So which is those second tier, which is especially on the corner studio and the deluxe suite room are actually facing the Twin Tower.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have what, 3 categories of rooms?
We have quite a fair bit. So we have deluxe grand room, and we have a corner studio city view. We have a corner studio Twin Tower view. We have a grand studio.
Right.
And also we have a deluxe suite, grand suites, and a RuMa suite.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm lost already.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when they book, actually, then, so the room categories would then, the main focus is what? Is it the view, or is it the size of the room that people will look at?
Well, I guess it depends. Well, of course, those Twin Tower view will be slightly higher, I mean the price. And one of our popular room type is the corner studio Twin Tower. So in terms of a price point, in terms of their view, I mean, it met, generally in the market. So it is more acceptance compared to the rest.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And what about the RuMa suite? You only have one RuMa suite.
Yep.
So tell us a bit about the suite, the RuMa suite.
Well, RuMa suite, well, it came with the living area, and of course, with the dining tables, and
how big is that suite? What's the size of it?
112 meter square feet.
Right.
Yep.
It's quite huge.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And it's got one room?
It got one room, yes, correct.
Right. Okay.
Correct.
Nice for somebody to just have a special occasion staying there.
Yeah, well,
staying in a home, feeling like home.
Well, for the RuMa suite, we actually not only we also actually open up for people that you want to run to have the small intimate events.
Yeah.
We have few actually so-called the regulars clients, which is from the fashions segment.
Right.
So to actually launch their new series of clothes.
Right.
Right. So then they will book probably like couple of days. So they have a few slots. For each slot.
So it's private viewing.
It's a private
party, private viewing. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant place. I think RuMa Hotel is certainly very suitable for those who are looking for lifestyle, something that's different, privacy, small group, attentiveness, and of course with some creativity. I think that sort of fits into what kind of profile of clients would really find RuMa the best fit,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I remember, I think back then during MCO time, also we have these luxury retail brands. So they actually book our space. I mean, for to attend the fashion show virtually.
During MCO time.
Yeah, during MCO time.
Right.
So the fashion show, if I'm not mistaken, was held in Paris. So they are actually a group of them actually attend the fashion show virtually.
Wow.
Yeah.
See how people, how things actually change the way we operate, isn't it? Even in hospitality. You never imagined that such thing could happen. In fact, it's something that can be continued and can still continue to do virtual shows.
Of course.
And you have physical and virtual at the same time, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's amazing. So it's really, I think the RuMa Hotel is I would look at it as a destination hotel in Malaysia, in KL. When you come to KL, that's the hotel you want to stay in. In addition to, of course, all the rest of the international brands, but in terms of the Malaysian brand, you want to experience Malaysian hospitality, the RuMa really has it and has it all. And that's why, RuMa Hotel obviously has been nominated as one of our nominees in HAPA Awards and HAPA Malaysia Series 2022-2023. And this is how we actually keep a lookout on what are all the hidden gems, hidden brands, treasure brands of Malaysia.
Yep.
which should be showcased. And definitely I've seen the quality of the hotel before COVID, now after COVID. I must say that the hardware is still there, it's still retained very well. I still feel the warmth of hospitality when I go in there.
Thank you.
Very good job, really well done for you, keeping that team spirit together,
Thank you.
Yeah. And last thing is, what can your guests expect from the RuMa in 2023? What is different? What are you going to be introducing?
Well, I would say, I think we will, of course, a stay in the RuMa. That will be, for our guests. To discover, the Malaysian hospitality. So in terms of the hardware side, and also in terms of the, from the people.
But would you be doing some sort of like experiential stay experience where you combine the stay and the dining and the spa and that sort of thing, because you have a new chef, and would that be something that you all would be looking into, where you get a staycation of these experiences all in one?
Yeah. We do have that packages in place.
Yeah.
When you book the room, definitely. Of course, you will enjoy, to experience our spa, and of course our dining experience.
That's really nice, isn't it? I would love to have like a stay experience that's all crafted, like a staycation. You come in and you stay for 2 nights, and everything is already arranged for you, where you get in and you get to your spa, and then you get to experience the dining with Chef Mandy and stuff like that. I think that's brilliant.
It's not only that. Recently also we are listed, actually one of the best hotel under the Michelin
yes.
guide.
Wow, congratulations.
So with this, hopefully, we will have more travelers, coming in, and as a preferred, hotels.
Yes.
To stay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. When they check it out, the 1-star Michelin restaurant.
Yeah, that's right. I think, certainly the RuMa Hotel deserves to be in that recognition field where, that's why I said earlier that I personally think that the RuMa should be, part of this destination hotel here in KL, where when you come, this is one of the hotels that you have to stay in and experience it, in order to say, I have been to Malaysia, I've experienced Malaysian hospitality. But really, really well done. I think congratulations, to the team for keeping this brand, especially at the core values that you say, what RuMa stands for, and using that to apply not just to the team, but also to provide that kind of hospitality to the guests. I think that's really something that's admirable. Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, Daniel, for sharing your story with us here, and looking forward to more good news about the RuMa.
Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer.
And see you at the red carpet.
Thank you. We do.
Right. So thank you so much for joining us. That was Mr. Daniyal Ng, Executive Assistant Manager of the RuMa Hotel and Residences Kuala Lumpur. Thank you for following HAPA TV. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and we'll catch up with you soon for more episodes. See you then.